And we're live. Hey, y'all. My name is Tammy Anderson Ward. I'm the conference producer for the Energy Healing Conference. Welcome to today. This is our Facebook Live. We do every Friday, 10 a.m., with minor exceptions, but most of the time we're here. 99% of the time we're here on Friday mornings. And I just have to say, I'm elated about the amazing speakers that we have coming up for our conference. And today, is really we're focusing in on some of our key experts that are going to be presenting at this event coming up in just 2 weeks in Ogden, Utah. So I'd like to go ahead and let you know some of the people that are going to be there while we're having some people jump on. Then I'm going to be doing some giveaways. So first of all, you've already met me. I've been doing these conferences since 2014. We've done over 100 huge events. And I am elated to be able to bring this opportunity to people. It doesn't matter who you are, what background or what degrees you have or you don't have. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. It doesn't matter anything like that. This is an event that is for anyone who wants to learn more about the science, about the research, about the information, about the how-tos and different steps that you can do for your own family, for your own health and wellness as well. And if you are a professional practitioner, this is definitely the place to be. You can come and be able to connect with other practitioners as well. This is also for the layperson. This is for the stay-at-home moms. This is for the teachers. This is for anyone who wants to learn more. We have a lot of healthcare providers that come to our events, and it's just going to be such an exciting experience this time. What got me into doing these events was I, first of all, had my own experience with my own family when in regards to energy healing. And it really changed my life. It actually helped me so much. My son, who was experiencing some health issues of his own, and that helped him so much, but then also helping me. Like, I had no idea the emotional baggage and the energetic debris that I was carrying around with me all the time. And this is so crazy. So I had all of that going on, and then becoming a certified practitioner and being able to help other people. And I just thought, this is not a secret that should be a secret. Like, more people need to know about this. It needs to be more accessible. It needs to be more affordable. And so that's really what this whole conference is about. I've had people ask me many times, so who is this for? This is for anyone, no matter where you are on your journey. We've had attorneys come. We've had dentists come. We have all different types of backgrounds. We will be having a medical doctor this year. Dr. Brian Daly is going to be coming from New York City. Or excuse me, he's in upstate New York, not in New York City. He'll be coming in from New York. We have also people who, are professional practitioners and experts that are coming all the way from California. We have physicists that are coming, and also experts and researchers and scientists that are coming that are from the UK. We have people that are coming in from Arizona. Of course, we have people from Utah, Idaho, and the nearby neighboring states, but we have people from all over the place that are coming in, speaking, they're presenting, and they're teaching this material that is, in my opinion, quite life-changing. It has been for me and for the people that are in my life. And I'm so grateful for that. Today we have Joy Beck, who is one of my personal favorites, my personal practitioners. That's my go-to girl, especially for my family. And if you know me at all, you know how important my family is to me. I'm a mother of 8 children. I also am a grandma. I have a couple of little grandbabies. They're so sweet. And my family is so important to me. I'm very, very careful about who I entrust their energy with, like rightfully so. And Joy Beck is somebody who I definitely trust with my own family. She's going to be speaking 2 different classes. I'll let her tell a little bit more about those today. But Joyful Parenting is one of Joy Beck's classes. And then also Creating Joyful Options in Life. And as a teacher of many, many years, she is honestly somebody that I would really, really trust with, especially your kids' energy. I've referred her to many people over the years, and I get people that come back and say, wow, that was amazing. what she did, how she helped my kid, or the foot zones that she gives. She's just amazing. One of the very first things that you want to do when you get to the conference is go find Joy Beck and sign up for a foot zone with her. She's remarkable when it comes to not just shifting the energy in the body, but also it just feels so good. You know what I mean? And if you want to get in on a spot, you're going to want to do it in advance. So make sure that you sign up for that early in the conference, for sure, or you won't have a spot because she fills up. Hey, Annika, how are you? Shauna, how's it going? So I can like tell you where people live because our community is so, I just love you guys so much. So at this point, I know Annika is in Rigby, Shauna is in Blackfoot, Brenda is in California, and she owns this amazing gift shop with a winery, and I can't wait to come visit you, Brenda. And congrats on your new grandbaby. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. Becky, I don't know where you're from yet. Would you give me a shout out? Let me know where you're from. Luana is in the Salt Lake City area. And who else is with us today? If you are on live, will you please join in by commenting and letting us know where you're from? Brenda, please drop a link to your cute store too. I know, I just can't wait. I want to come visit you and see what else you've been doing. Lorraine is, what do they call that? A snow bunny. She's in Mesquite half the year and Idaho Falls half the year. I love her and her daughters. They've been able to come to my retreat that we did down in St. George. Like, I seriously love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. And I call it an energy healing family. I just really adore you guys. It's just amazing. Let's see, where else can I find? Okay, our other speakers today, we have Tam Pendleton. Tam's been with us from the very beginning. In fact, when we went to California back in 2014, she went to the conference and I just kind of kept my eye on her for a little while. And then finally one day I was just like, I love you. And I don't know why I was intimidated by you. Tell me about what you do. And she started to kind of walk me through all of the different levels of her modality called the Healer's Blueprint. And since then, I've had several people work on me personally and other people that I know. And I'm just so impressed with her modality. She is speaking on healing your energy signature. And I'm very excited about that. She, like I said, has been with us for a long time, going back and forth, going around to different places. And I just love her so much. She will be speaking today at 10:40. So if you know Tam, give her a shout out down in the comments. Let us know what you think of her awesome stuff. She's got really a lot of experience in a lot of different modalities. She is a board certified traditional naturopath, and she's also the co-owner of the Integrating Wellness Center in Springville, Utah. Springville has, shout out to their art center too. It's just amazing. I don't think I ever cried so hard at an art museum, but art touches me and I love it. So it's awesome. We also are going to be having Benjamin King from the Blue Petal Foundation. He will be doing a couple of different things for us at this particular conference. He's going to be speaking on the breaking point of pain and rebirth, which is so fascinating. I love that. My family stopped in at his studio down in Utah County, and he there taught all of my kids how to actually manipulate energy in a way that was very subtle, very soft, but very powerful at the same time. What we did was he had a candle in a little stand, a piece of wood that had a hole for the candle, and the candle was there. And he had them not using their breath, not using their like from moving their hands, but rather just focusing in and holding their hands very steady. And he helped them learn that they could put the candle out. So we lit the candle first, and then he taught them how to actually move the energy. And they all did it so fast. And then at the end, all my sons were completely done. And it was my turn. And at the very end, I'm the one who had the most difficulty with it. It was so funny. He says, haven't you been doing energy for a while? I said, yeah, but I've got all this pressure on me, you know, like all my kids are watching and they just did it. And everybody's like expecting me to perform. And he just started laughing. He's a great guy. But he like got my kids to go, oh, mom's not, you know, so crazy. This is like, this works, you know, I love it. Is there anybody else like know what I'm talking about when I'm sharing that. It's just kind of funny that, how your kids, they're like, what is mom doing? What is this all about? Kind of thing. But I want to share with you a few other things that are going to be happening at this conference, and then we're going to do a giveaway. Also, one of the things that Benjamin King is going to be doing is he's going to be doing a hands-on experience with Qigong. That's going to be outdoors at 9 a.m. when the air is so comfortable and soft and cool. And we'll be out there and he'll actually lead you through an interactive experience. So if maybe you've heard about it, you've received some education about it, or you've seen it done online, come and experience it at the conference live and in person with the Qigong master. He is a certified medical Qigong practitioner, and he's also a certified hypnotherapist. And I'm just so impressed with this guy. You're going to absolutely love him. Bill McKenna, I can also speak from some personal experience. I'll have him go ahead and introduce his business partner, Liz Larson, where I haven't had the experience with her just yet. But Bill is the practitioner that many people have been kind of following my journey with healing my brain. And Bill's the guy who he has an office right on the beach, as people are walking by right there at the bay in San Diego area. And he's my go-to guy when the other day I was in Logan and I couldn't drive because I was having such bad anxiety. And he was my go-to. He was the first person I called. And he was able to walk me through a couple of his practices with eye movements and doing different things with energy. And he got me back on the road. He got me so that I could drive home. And if you've ever experienced a traumatic brain injury, or somebody who has, it can be debilitating. It can really change people's lives. I feel really grateful to have met Bill. He came to my conference in St. George, and that's where I met him. And he taught me some very simple but very effective practices that I could do for myself. And I'm all about helping people to be empowered so they don't always have to go to other people, but so that they can learn how to do things for themselves and then also teach that to their families. And I've just been really, really grateful for everything that he has personally taught me. And I feel like I'm getting my life back, from this injury I received on March 8th. So I'm really, really thankful for him. And you guys stay tuned for his stuff. Or if you do have to leave for a hot sec, make sure you come back for his stuff. He'll be at the end of what we're doing today from 11:40 to noon. Oh, I forgot my dear friend, Shelly Jo Wallstrom will be in there somewhere in between as well. She'll be speaking on amino acid therapy. And that's also been very instrumental for a lot of people. So if you're a practitioner, you're like, wait, I don't know about amino acids, listen in, because she's making it possible for practitioners and those who have their own wellness centers and clinics to be able to utilize that, to be able to get the training and be able to instruct people on how to do that. All right, now for our first giveaway, this is what I want you to do. If you're watching this right now, you know what we're about. You know how what we're all about is helping other people and educating people and training people and empowering people. Then will you please go ahead and click on that share button. Click that share button right now and help us get the word out. Now, if you're on YouTube observing us right now and you're watching, you can just comment by letting people know what you're thinking about the information. You can also go ahead and click and copy the link and then text it to people or share it with people that way. Once you have shared, I don't care how you share. Once you have shared, go ahead and just let me know by putting shared down in the comments. I'm actually going to give away a pair of tickets to the conference, a general session pair of tickets to the event. And for those of you who have not yet had the opportunity to look at the event, I would really love to help you know what this event is about. So I'm going to go ahead and comment with the link down here in the comments. And I'd love to be able to give you a pair of tickets. Now, if you have already gotten your tickets, maybe you know somebody that would like to come, please feel free to tag them down in the comments as well. I'd love to be able to get you hooked up with some tickets for maybe some friends that would like to come. I have 10 tickets I'm going to give away today. So all you have to do is be one of those shared comments down below and we're going to hook you up. So it looks like I've got Shauna Rox Anderson. I've got a pair of tickets for you. Becky Perry, I've got a pair of tickets for you. Oh yeah, you do already have tickets. If you know anybody else who'd like to come, then we can hook you up that way as well. But thank you for sharing. I know you already have your tickets, and then here you are sharing some more. I really appreciate that. And I just want to get the word out even more about this conference. It's huge, you guys. We, as of right now, have about 150 vendors, literally. And we've got indoor and outdoor. We've got the self-guided meditation, which is the Labyrinth. And I'll be sharing more information about that a little bit later today as well. But yes, such good stuff. Becky, thank you so much for sharing. Brenda, thank you so much for sharing. If there's anyone else, please go ahead and tune in and let us know that you've shared whenever you can, just down in the comments. I appreciate you guys so much. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring on our very first speaker. This is Joy Beck today. And like I said, she's a dear friend of mine, somebody I text often, and absolutely love her services. She works very well with kids, but really the overall family as well. She's trained and certified in emotion code and body code. She's also a certified foot zoner and a dear friend of mine. I've been also working with her in other capacities for a long time. I'm so excited. All right, let's go ahead and welcome to our virtual stage today, Joy Beck. Hey, friend.
Oh, how are you? Let me fix this. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I'm going to be hopping off.
Messing with my camera.
Anyway. So very cool. All right. So I'm going to have you introduce a little bit about how you got into this work, and then also some things that are going to be happening at your conference. Does that sound good?
Yeah, it does. So my name is Joy Beck, and the reason I got into the energy healing modalities, it started at home. It started with my mom. I grew up really holistically on a farm. And if I'm looking, my camera's weird, so I'm trying to look like I look, but I'm just going to do it. So sorry for those that this will bother, because I know you're out there. But we grew up really holistically and used oils and like aloe vera plants. We did that kind of thing. And then she started learning about reflexology and worked for Nature Path in my hometown. And of course, I learned how to do that, and just kind of, because I wanted to. And along my journey, I came across foot zoning. And it was very similar. And I thought, man, I can learn this. Learned how to do that. Was able to take classes and get that training. And then I came across, I'm that continual learner. And came across the body code and emotion code. And Dr. Bradley Nelson, who is the creator of that, I met his niece in Pocatello when she lived there. And I was actually foot zoning a friend, and she was telling me what she was doing. I said, can I dive bomb into this? Because I really want to know. So I kind of did. And the rest was history. So I learned how to do that as well. And it's one of my favorites. And went ahead and just continued to learn. I try to find things that work for me in mind. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And so I picked the ones that work really well for me. I want to thank Tammy for having me on, and I'm really excited about the Ogden conference. This is the biggest one I've been to, so it should be a fun ride for sure. And if you haven't got your tickets, make sure and connect up with Tammy. It's going to be a fun one. So I have 2 classes that I am teaching in Ogden, and the first one is on Thursday. It's called Joyful Parenting Tips. Now, I'm going to preface with, I am not a perfect parent, like at all. My kids could testify to that. However, along with being a mama and then being a teacher, I've come across lots of ways to do things the right way and things not so much. So that's where I'm pulling that from. It's not just from my back pocket. And the other class that I'm teaching is Creating Joyful Options in Life. And that one is one that I'll share lots of tips and tricks that I've learned along the way, lots of different things that work for me and mine. And then I go into and explain the body code system from Dr. Bradley Nelson, as well as a brief overview on foot zoning. So I told you just a little bit about myself. I am a mama of 4 kiddos, ranging from 14 to 28. And I have 2 daughter-in-laws now and 2 grandsons, and love them. And the reason my why is because I wanted to be able to learn things and help my kids when they were in need. And there's only so much you can do when you've got a friend who is a practitioner or a healer. They like you, but they don't really want to hear from you at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock when your kids are in crisis. And so that's why I started and learned how to do this, was to help me and mine first, and to be able to help them with the healing process so that they didn't get stuck like I did, because I didn't know any better. And I didn't know how to identify and release, I call it the junk, the emotional baggage that I had. And so I wanted to be able to learn that and give and teach that so that they didn't have to wait till they were 45 to be able to do that, which has been a hot second ago. I am certified, like Tammy said, I am certified for body code and the body code system and emotion code system, and the advanced energy wellness class that Tammy teaches. As well as that, I offer the harmonic light therapy and foot zone therapy. So those are the modalities that I have under my belt so far, and I'll probably do some more because I like doing that. One of the things that I'll share in the class, the Creating Joyful Options in Life class, is, and she mentioned it, and you'll want to stick around to listen to Shelly Joe, is about amino acids. Amino acids, I can't help myself, but it share things that work for me. It's kind of like sharing a good movie, right? But amino acids have been something that have helped my person and my brain and my whole body be able to function better. And they can't claim anything, but I can tell you that I no longer take my depression medicine or my anxiety medicine, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get kicked off of this for that, but I don't take that anymore. I don't have to. I use the amino acids that are for that purpose, and it's not like my life's been rosy for sure, but I'm able to function, and I'm able to function mostly happy like this most days that end in Y. Not all the time, but most of them. So amino acids are something that if you don't know about it, check it out. She's amazing and super fun to watch and super fun to interact with. Her classes are always a good time. And that is something that I have benefited personally from that. A little bit about the body code system from Dr. Bradley Nelson. Trapped emotions are most commonly the underlying reasons for imbalances in our bodies. And with those trapped emotions, when we have an imbalance in our body, then it can affect us mentally and emotionally, but it can also affect us personally. And when that happens, like, it can cause your body to get ill, to have some kind of illness with it. And with Dr. Bradley's system, sorry about that, what it does is through muscle testing, we find out what those underlying causes are, whether they're an emotion that's trapped or whether there's a physical part. That's kind of with the body code and the emotion code. But we find out where those underlying causes are. And then if you're ready to release it, and I say that, and I'll explain it in a second, if you're ready to release that, then through swiping over the governing meridian, which goes back to Chinese medicine, and his technique is to swipe over the governing meridian, like I'm doing now, from my forehead to the back, when you're doing it on yourself 3 times, and then that energetically resets your person. And with it, one of my favorite things about it at the time was the fact that it's really non-invasive. Like, I don't have to know everyone's junk. When I was having sessions, I didn't have to tell all of my junk, because we all have it. Just some of us have more than others. But I could find out where that root cause of what I was struggling with and find out if there was anything hidden underneath that. And then if I was ready to release it, then to release it and reset through the governing meridian. So I'm going to explain that for a hot second. When I was working with a gal and we were doing the same kind of process, different, but same kind of process. And I'm like, yes, I'm ready to get rid of this. I'm done. I'm done being the victim. And she's like, yeah, no, that's still, you're hanging on to that. And I'm like, no, I'm ready. And in my head, I wanted to let that go, but I was still hanging on to it in my heart. And I wasn't ready to let that go. And so even if you're saying the words out your mouth and you're saying, yep, I'm ready to move on. But if you're really not ready, your subconscious knows it. And so when I say, if you're ready to release that, and I just test through muscle testing, but then that can be released and reset through the governing meridian. So that's with the body coding, emotion code systems tucked in with the body code system. And the body code system has 6 different areas that through muscle testing to easily find where those imbalances are, and if there's anything, any like hidden reasons why they're there. And then if your body's ready to release and reset, then it's that the process is pretty simple, just that resetting through the governing meridian. So I love it because truly, and Dr. Brad says this too, like 8-year-olds, like kids can really do the process. It's not complicated and it's not difficult. But so that's why I did it when I was doing counseling a long time ago and trying to work through some of my stuff that had come up. The traditional way, I was able to bring it all up. But then what do you do with that? It was like having sludge all over me. And I could bring it all up, wrote it down, did some verbal stuff that I needed to do, but it was still there. And I never learned any ways to get rid of that. But through the emotion code and the body code systems, I now know how to find it, the junk that's no longer serving us, because we hang on to stuff for a reason. But to find that stuff that's no longer serving us and then to be able to release it. So I love it because with the body code system, I do sessions in person. At the conference, the 2 things, sorry, my nose is itching, of course, because I'm on. The 2 offerings there's that link down at the bottom of the screen is for a free mini foot zone or a free mini body code session. It's like 20 minutes. And I'll be doing that throughout the whole conference. There's Thursday and then all Friday and then Saturday. And other than the fact of my 2 classes and the ones I'm going to go to, because I'm going to balance that out for me this time. I don't always do that. So I am going to take advantage of the amazing speakers that are there. But the link on the bottom is for a chance to win a free one. And I'm going to choose 3 to 4 each day at the conference. But over for this Facebook Live, I'm going to choose 3 peeps who put in that enter in for the chance to win a free session. And I'll choose them on Sunday night. The reason I'm going to choose it on Sunday night is because typically I'm that working person that has to watch this on the replay. School's out, and so I'm here right now. But I do like to give everyone a chance to be able to enter if you want to. And I'll choose 3 peeps and then I'll post it on Tammy's page, as well as reach out to you through Facebook to be able to get those sessions. And I'd love to get the 3 off of today's offering done before the conference so that you'll have just a taste of that. So obviously, if you win the foot zone, it will be in person in Ogden, unless you live in the Idaho Falls area, and then we'll figure that out. And if it's a body code session, the great part about a lot of energy medicine is that you can do it distance. Like I can do a phone session, I can do like a Zoom or a Facebook connection. I don't even know what those are called. There you go. There's my age. or I can just do a proxy session where I get your permission, I do the whole process, I write it down, I send you the notes, and it's that simple. So there's lots of different ways that sessions can be done, especially for the body code. If you you get to choose. You get to tell me whether you want a foot zone either here or in Ogden, or if you'd like a body code session. So that's my offering for today for this live. And then during the conference, I am doing mini foot zones and body code sessions. And the offering I have, it's about 15-20 minutes, and it's only $40. Typically, they're $95 for a 30-minute session. So it's a scream and deal. As Tammy said, if nothing else, it feels good. If you get the foot zone, then you have that hands-on, and I do like to play with piggies. My kids don't understand me, and that's okay. But you can either do that or else the body code session. So either way, I'd love to be able to reach out to you. I'd love to see you at the conference if you can make it. Trying to think what else I have. I have a couple of things. Oh, sorry, I'm not quite used to explaining about the two classes. So that kind of goes over what the creating joyful options in life class is about. And I do share things, and then I get lots of interaction because I just can't help it. It's the teacher in me. I just finished my 27th year teaching littles, mostly first grade and kinder. And I'm going back to kinder this next year. So interacting I can't help myself. So in the class, you'll have a lot of involvement that you can choose to participate in or not. There's no shaming or there's no guilt. You can just watch. If nothing else, I'm entertaining. The other class that I'm going to teach on is named Joyful Parenting Tips. And as I said, I'm going to put a disclaimer, not a perfect parent, have had many, many not so great choices in my life as a parent. But along the way, I've learned a couple of things. And one of the strategies that I'll teach you about, and it's just an overview because the class is like 30 minutes. So it's not a lot of time, but it gives you a good, for lack of a better word, taste of the online class is going to be about. So one of the strategies that I came across probably like 20 years ago is called, and I just jumped right. I think we call those jumpers in my class, is the love and logic approach. And I had a sweet mama that came up to me when I was teaching. I think I'm almost done. Anyway, love and logic, I'm going to swirl. I do that often. The love and logic approach, as well as the 5 love languages, and how to be able to use those strategies in helping kids be able to own their own choices and to lovingly help them deal with their consequences without being on top of them all of the time and being able to have that negativeness with it. So I think I'm out of time, but I'd love to see you. And yep, I'm like,
well,
yep,
I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing your personal experiences. I have benefited from your skills and what you've learned and your expertise. I've seriously 27 years.
I know it's kind of crazy.
I homeschooled for 15 years and that was it for me. I couldn't do it anymore. So I just appreciate you so much. And it wasn't like you only had my 8 kids. You had a whole bunch of other people's kids too, all day long. So I really appreciate you. And I'm excited to be able to learn of all of the value that you have to teach, as well as the energetic things that you'll be doing as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah. And you guys, what a generous giveaway that she's doing for the people who were here live and for the people who were there at the conference too. I'm so excited for that. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yep. No problem. Okay. Thanks, Joy. See ya. Oh, you guys, I love her so much. She's amazing. Okay. We have our next speaker who's all ready to go. She's like backstage on our virtual stage here. This is the amazing Tam Pendleton. She is the founder of the Healer's Blueprint and she'll be sharing about this powerful energy modality that marries intuitive energy medicine, psychology, and practical life skills. I'm going to go ahead and bring her onto our virtual stage here and let her tell more about it. You can connect here at her website as well. I'll put that in the link for everyone as well. So, hey.
You're so brave to put Joy, Tam, and Shelly, like 3 squirrel chasing.
You guys are so fun. You're like some of my best friends at the conferences. What are you talking about? I love it. It's awesome. All right, I'm going to turn the time over to you, and can't wait to hear more about how you got into this and also what's going to be happening in your class and at your vendor space.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you for having me here. Thank you for all of you watching, and I will be looking at the Facebook after I'm finished, because we're having some problems seeing Facebook at the same time. So we'll be making some offers to you as well, and we'll check there later and make sure you get delivery on those free things for our drawing today. So just asking, have any of you ever had a burning question that you needed answers for, and you searched and searched and searched, and it took a long time to find it? Okay. Question number 1. And question number 2, did you ever receive a download that changed your life forever and a whole lot of other people's? Just in the way life works is there's desires that build inside of us, and somehow we take action, and somehow we find a solution. And for me, that's how the Healer's Blueprint came. I was searching for how to marry. I was one of the first body code, emotion code practitioners in the world. Shout out to Joy. Yay, good stuff. And Dr. Brad was one of my first mentors, and I learned so much, and I loved what I did. And I also was a life coach and a trainer and presenter. And I was trying to understand how I know what energy can do, and not everyone's open to energy. So as a life coach, you can sneak energy in there and people aren't really paying attention, and you can do amazing things for them. So my hopes and my pursuit was how to marry mentoring, life mentoring, being happy, figuring out how to clean out your junk, and energy healing, and how to make both of them more profoundly impactful on the human body and on the mind and the heart and the spirit and all the parts of us that are just, we're not going to go there, but there's lots of parts to you, right? And so one night I had this feeling like it was time. I went online and I bought the domain called Healer's Blueprint. That's what came to my mind. And I knew the little voice said in the morning, I'm going to give this to you. I was like, okay. I heard my voice called, my name called. It woke me up at 4 a.m. I sat up, I grabbed the paper and pencil that I had by my nightstand waiting for this information, and I started to write. And like I said, I was an experienced practitioner. I had an international practice all over the world. I was doing body code. And I was having really tough clients, right? And I was trying to find a way to help it work more and work longer, work better. And so I knew that the most impactful things that we could look at from a life standpoint would be your relationships, how you give and receive in this world, and also your personal boundaries. And those things work in the world of life mentoring, and in the world of energy, they have everything to do with that and so much more. And so what started as a little project, for myself, for my clients, when I received that information, the other thing I was told too, here's actually a picture of that blueprint that I got that download for. When I received that information, the information came to my heart, my mind, that said, this isn't for you. I thought this was for my little practice. Like, no, this isn't for you. You have to share this, and you have to share it fast. And so within 6 weeks, the Healers Academy, which is where we teach the Healer's Blueprint, was born and functioning. And that was 9 years ago. And I was so grateful for Tammy Ward, and having her wonderful energy healing conference where people can come like me who look like nutcases to the rest of the world, but understand quantum energy, understand how energy, vibrational medicine works, and that we need it we need to share that with other people. And with that, we can heal our bodies ourselves. We are made to heal ourselves. And so having information, having the blueprint is a great big list of questions that we can ask. And like Joy was talking about the subconscious mind and how it works, and how we have this little tiny bit of that, of our consciousness, probably 10%, that is we're aware of, and we're like, I want to get better. I want to do all these things to make myself feel good. And I'm ready to let this old thing go that's in my way. And that subconsciousness is so big. It has recorded every moment of your life, every moment of your existence and your being. It knows everything. And the conscious part of you that's like, I'm moving on, doesn't have much connection to that subconsciousness. And that's where energy comes in, because using the electromagnetic being that we are, we can literally erase what is written on our bodies that's negative, that's traumatic, those barriers that keep us from ringing with authenticity, the authentic you, who you are. I mean, have you ever thought about that? I'm sure you have. Do you think about who the real you is? Are you struggling with purpose? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Who am I really? And we get kind of buried in these relationships. So what I've learned with the blueprint was that it can go to deeper levels, not just the emotion that may be challenging our bodies, but what is the belief construction, the mental programming, the whole organization of how we think on the inside in our subconsciousness. So the blueprint is designed to go in and hear these inner stories, to identify them through the subconsciousness, through muscle testing, and then coming up with an answer. So if the question is your energy signature serving your highest good? I would ask you that. You know, there's a little moment call to action, and love it if you'd throw that in the chat box. Is your energy signature functioning and serving your highest good? That's a big question. And just kind of listen to what happens on the inside. You can hear a yes or a no. And if it's yes, well, good for you. Way to go. And if it's a no, then what we're looking for, are barriers that are keeping your energy signature from functioning in the highest way possible, in the most glorious, highest way. Can you imagine what it would feel like to walk into a space confident, no depression screaming down on you, no anxiety pushing against you, no worries about who else is in the room, but just being safe, who you are, as you are, in any situation, at any time you want to or need to, being able to identify and stay authentically with a beautiful energy signature that is unique for you. And sometimes you'll notice people who you don't even talk to someone and you can feel the bristle as they walk past. Could be they're just having a rough mood or something, but if they're in a rough mood, that means their energy, their cells, their cellular structures, have atoms in them. Those atoms are meant to function at a super high level so that you can be fully well and functioning. And if is wearing down on you, if you're afraid of people, if there's reasons to stay away from the world, it acts like a wet blanket. That energy acts like a wet blanket, pressing down on those cells in your body. And like Joy talked about earlier, when there's too much garbage sitting on your cellular structures, you get sick. Your body is meant to function. Spin high way up here, energy way up here. And the lower the energy goes, the lower the sad, dark, depressing emotions, the lower your whole body drops. And then, we tend to, stress will make us feel ill. It will make us feel ill. So back to that energy signature. Did you notice if your energy signature is functioning at your highest good? And if you got a no on that, then I want you to just think about that. You can think in terms of, is there something I need to let go of? And that's where we would use the healer's blueprint. Is there something you need to let go of? And we would go through that great big list of over 500 questions that we muscle test very quickly to figure out where there might be a source of an issue that could be causing you problems. And then just to let it go using energy and using your energy system, you can do it yourself. You can let it go yourself. And so that's what we do. So look at that energy signature that you found, and you may have learned that it's not serving your highest good. And if it's not serving your highest good, can you let it go and get an answer on that? Is there a yes on that or a no? And if there's a no, then I would ask you to ask yourself this: can your highest self, best part of you, your most intuitive place, does it know a higher way to let this go? If you got to know, then just ask deeper, a little deeper. Is there some part of you that knows a higher way? Those are great questions to keep in touch with yourself. And I would just invite you to try using the little secret weapon. So we use the governing meridians of the body to help clear electromagnetic energy. I'm using electromagnetic energy to clear the emotion that we may struggle with. But you can also, when you feel you're not in your highest, your best self and the best energy signature you need to be in, you can also try this: putting one hand on your forehead, right, kind of on your third eye, right here. This is an energy center. And we're accessing a meridian here, which is your conception vessel, your central meridian. And then put your other hand right in your belly button, and just hold this. And you were thinking about calming down for a second, but it's so interesting. As you hold this position, you're going to notice possibly the need to take a great, big, deep breath. So just, and here mine comes, I can feel it. And just let it go. And it is so powerful if you give yourself a chance to do that. When you're stressed out, you're running around, things aren't working right, you're clearly not in your highest, bestest energy signature. We want to bring the energy signature of, sometimes it's rage, sometimes it's sadness, sometimes it's grief, sometimes it's fear. And we want to go into the energy signature that suits you best, whether that's trust or peace or joy. What is the signature you want? And then you go get it. Ask for it. Just ask. Ask. There's a whole universe out there of source that is looking to assist you to live your life in a happy way. So, talking about barriers to what could, put you in your ideal energy, and looking at a tool you can use to kind of reset yourself and your mood. Some of the barriers that we deal with in our center, or that I work with in my private practice, lots of trauma, accidents, illness. We have people that are specialized in brain integration, we have foot zoners, and all the things that we're looking at are to help with spiritual wounds, emotional wounds, relationship wounds, depression, anxiety, and trying to stay safe in a crazy world. And also kind of that just stresses from illnesses, and just addressing the body and trying to bring balance and peace back into our lives, into our children's lives, into our families' lives. How to have great boundaries. That's probably the number one thing that I do, is help people figure out their boundaries. So with all that going on, we have some free things that we want to offer at the upcoming conference. We're going to teach a class on the Healer's Blueprint, where we will demonstrate right there in class how we use it, how it works, so you can see it. Also, we are providing a free, for someone on this call, right? And we'll do a drawing at the event where we're going to invite people to come to our free summer solstice power up. We're doing a 4-day conference. It's a 1 hour a day at 9 a.m. from Monday through Thursday before the week of the 4th of July, for women and men, or whoever wants it, to have a summer solstice power up and just kind of reset for the next 6 months. And on that call, we'll have Kara Brandt, who is a brilliant energy practitioner. We'll have Nicole Goebel, who specializes in brain and as a foot zoner. Stephanie Stoker, who is all around get it done, amazing energy practitioner. And each one of us will be teaching that and would love to offer that to you. I guarantee you walk away with great value from that. So we're going to offer that. 3 people will receive that from this event today. And then we'll also have that. We'll have it for sale at the conference. We'll also be doing Healer's Blueprint sessions, short ones. They'll be about 20 minutes long, and they'll be priced so that you can come and experience that if you'd like to. We'll have several practitioners who are certified and can do that for you. And if you go to my website, tampendleton.com, there is my signal that I should be hurrying off. If I can figure out how to turn it off. Stop. So also at the event, or on my website, there's a free training on the Healer's Blueprint. There's a little bit of muscle testing training on there. And there's also, if you scroll down at the main page, you can also see a free visualization. It's about a 25-minute visualization. It's a spiritual start your day kind of a thing, just to help you connect with source, if source is a thing for you. And a source is a thing for me. So anyway, those great things are happening. We can't wait to be at this energy healing conference. You gotta grab your friends and come, because I think that Tammy has put together the most fascinating group I've ever seen her do. So impressed with what's coming. And there is an answer for what you're looking for that somebody at this conference is gonna have. Somebody's gonna have it. A way to help you move forward with more joy, with more peace, and more connected to your loved ones, more strength. So thanks for having me, Tammy.
This is awesome. Well, before you go, don't go yet. I want to ask, how do they enter for that summer solstice giveaway? I don't have a link. All I have is tampendleton.com, which I shared, but I don't see any other way. Do you?
Okay, here's a way then. Let's try and make it as easy as I can. If you go to my website, scroll to the bottom, and if you register for that free visualization, it'll collect your email. And from that, if you will sign up for that, then I have a way to find 3 people who want to come to our summer solstice power up. Okay.
That's awesome. Well, I love all those people that you were mentioning that are speakers. They are all, I think all of them have spoken at my conference at one time or another. Nicole, I've taken classes with her many times. I just love her. So that is so fun. Okay, so Ann Garner is saying, I want to enter. So what you do is go to Tam Pendleton's website. I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the screen one more time. And then you just scroll down to the bottom and sign up for her free visualization that she has there. Is that right? Did I say it right?
Yes, you did it.
Woohoo! That's pretty simple. So then go ahead and go there. And then you guys, Tam's got such a great modality. I highly recommend checking into it. And then also her vendor space, you can go and participate and try it out 20 minutes. So that's perfect. I love it. And thank you so much, my friend. I am so glad you're coming. And it's been a while and I've missed you. So I can't wait to give you a big hug.
Missed you too.
Okay. Love you, friend.
Love you.
Oh, she's incredible. That is going to be a blast. I want to go sign up for that too. She's just amazing. All right. Our next speaker that we have joining us today is, let's see, what time? Who is the next person? I'm just making sure that I've got it correct. Okay. It's Shelly Jo Wallstrom. I love Shelly Jo. We've had her on here many times. You guys will know her as the colorful, fun, educator on amino acid therapy. She's also a certified hypnotherapist. I don't know if you guys know that about her. I've done hypnotherapy with her and highly recommend her if you can get into her is the thing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put her up on the stage here, our virtual stage, and turn the time over to her.
Hi, Tammy. Hi, guys. I'm so glad to be here, Tammy. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak here. I'm super excited to be here, guys. It's exciting. This huge conference coming in. You guys got to listen to 2 of my favorite people, Joy and Tam, if you get a chance to hear them, I'm telling you, they are so amazing. They know their stuff and they are so much fun. And then you get to hear Ben. So he's also as amazing and wonderful. I haven't met Bill yet, so I'll get to him at the conference. I hope you guys are planning on coming to the conference because it is going to be amazing. I'm actually speaking 3 times. 3, 1, 2, 3. And people want to know how I got into what I'm doing. And let's go into it really quickly. Is that, well, first of all, I went to my granddaughter's graduation from preschool. Her name's Harper Jo. She's so dang cute. She's so much fun. They, at the end of their graduation, they asked them what they want to be when they grow up. And last year she said she wanted to be a witch. And this year she said she wanted to be a dragon. And what does that have to do with this? Well, I can tell you that when I was growing up, I never said I wanted to be a hypnotherapist, nor did I say I wanted to be an addiction recovery and mental health nutrition coach specializing in amino acid therapy. But what I'm sure if there's practitioners on here, and if there are practitioners, say yes. I'm curious to see how many of you guys are practitioners, how many of you are just learning more about energy healing conference or energy healing. So anyway, that was not what I wanted to go into. I became a hypnotherapist because I could see that there were so many people that struggled. I call myself a seeker of light and truth. Back in the 20s, back when I was 20, I started studying like the law of attraction, The Secret, and I couldn't get enough of it. I was like, this is so much fun that I figured I gotta learn as much as I could. And it took me, another 30 something years to finally figure out where that path was going to lead me. Thanks, Liz. I appreciate that, that you love my background. And Tammy, I love you. You know I do. Anyway, so after I got my daughter graduated, and I'll explain a little bit really quickly about her, but when I got her graduated, I wanted to do something to help others. And I went in to become a hypnotherapist because I thought that would be way cool, how I can help people. I'm going to tell you a really quick story on hypnosis because some of you, I say that and they go, oh my gosh, you're going to control my mind. You're going to read my mind. And I say, yeah, if I could control anybody's mind, I'd want to control my 3 daughters when they were teenagers. If I could read somebody's mind, I'd want to read my husband's, I think. Not sure. I've been married almost 37 years on Monday. But anyway, it's not about mind control. But it does help. It helps with public speaking. It helps with performances. I've helped a baseball player. I've helped a gymnast. It can help with test taking. There's a lot of things that it can do. It can help to also, it gets to the subconscious. I like what Tam was saying about getting to the subconscious and getting to the root of the problem. Okay. This was a really, really cool story. I had a client who we had a session. And first thing she said to me is, this is not a good day. I shouldn't be here. But I'm here because I didn't want to cancel really quickly. And I'm like, why? What's going on? And she's like, today is my daughter's 17th birthday. And she died at age 3 days. So for 17 years, this mom had been struggling with the loss of this baby. And I said to her, this can be the best day of your life. And through hypnosis, we were able to get back to allowing her to remember this baby. And she had this aha that she had been so focused on the baby's death that she'd forgot about the baby's life, right? And it was so amazing because for 17 years, she had every single time from the baby's birth to the baby's death, those 3 days, she would either drink or she would eat too much or she would do something just to get away from that feeling because it hurt so bad. And now she said to me, I'm so excited to celebrate her. That was such a powerful hypnotic session that it warmed my heart, right? My business is Feed Your Brain, Change Your Life. Okay. I even wrote a book, Feed Your Brain, Change Your Life. I will have this at the conference. I did that in 2020 when everything shut down and we weren't having conferences. And so I wrote a book. Anyway, but it's like a three-legged stool: brain, the body, and your emotions, right? And now, if you have like a three-legged stool has to have all three legs to stand. Well, so do we. We have to have our brain working efficiently, we have to have our body, and we have to have our emotions and our thoughts. And if we're not, then we're not healthy, right? There's something that needs to be affected or fixed. The challenge is a lot of times when we think, okay, we got to fix something, we maybe look at one thing. So let's say we want to lose weight, right? So I'm going to get rid of sugar, which would be the physical, right? I'm going to stop eating sugar. The challenge is sugar in itself, first of all, it's very addicting, and it lights up every part of your brain, like a pinball machine, right? And so when you just say, I'm not going to have sugar, it's really hard to stay away from it. Not that it's not impossible, but it's extremely hard. I know, because I'm a sugar addict. I get what that feels like, right? And I should say a reformed sugar addict. The other thing is it's also an emotional attachment, right? So if I told somebody they had to quit having sugar, it's like their security blanket, right? So they'd want to hold on to it more. So just by affecting and saying, I'm going to stop eating certain things and I'm going to stay away from sugar, doesn't address the brain and the body, right? Same thing with hypnosis. If you're a practitioner, you may know I had people who would come to me and I love you, Tam. Thank you. People come to me and I'd work with them and then they'd come back and it was like I hadn't done anything. So I'd work with them again. I think that was such a great session. And then they come back and I say it's like 51st dates. It's like they had the desire, but for some reason there was something missing. And I at the time I didn't know what it was, but I thought there's a chemical, there's something in the brain that's not allowing this to stick, these changes. So the other part is the brain. Feed the brain, right? And I'm talking about the brain itself. In your brain, you have what's called neurotransmitters. They fire these happy, calm, feel-good chemicals. And when they're working, you feel fabulous. When they stop working, and they can stop working for several things. First of all, you could be born with less of them. So children who struggle with ADD, anxiety, when they're young, could be that they have less neurotransmitters. Could be that toxins, diet, lifestyle. 60% of people over age 40 are neurotransmitters become depleted. So if you're in that category, which I am, I'll be 59 at the end of the month, then it's, that's another reason. The other thing is neurotransmitters are fed by amino acids. Okay. Amino acids are just the building blocks of protein. You either create them in your body, you get them from a supplement, or you get them from protein. If your body's not creating enough of them, those neurotransmitters become depleted because they're not being fed. They're being starved, right? And once they become starved, people say, why can't I just eat a whole bunch of meat? And then it'll turn into help feed the neurotransmitters. Well, that's because when you eat meat, you can't eat enough of it, right? Because that meat's going to be digested, or that food's going to be digested. And then it's going to go to the brain. It's going to go to the heart, the muscles, and all these different places. It's very difficult to get enough protein at that time to feed those neurotransmitters. Okay, the neurotransmitters, serotonin, GABA, endorphins, and dopamine, right? Those are those neurotransmitters. And when they quit firing, then feelings and symptoms come up: anxiety, depression, worry, OCD, perfectionism, lack of energy, lack of sleep, lack of focus, apathy. Could be like self-harm. Feeling like you want to numb out, you want to reward yourself with something, which, and so when we feel this way, we turn to something, our brain likes to feel homeostasis. And when it doesn't, it looks for something to make it feel better. So it's going to turn to sugars, starches, caffeine, aspartame, alcohol, drugs, legal, illegal, and sometimes behaviors such as gaming, gambling, too much television, too much shopping, too much social media, because it wants to feel better, right? So our brain takes us hostage and says, I want what I want, and I want it now. Okay. Well, the idea is by feeding the brain specific amino acids, you can literally start to feed the brain so that those cravings and those symptoms can come down. It's incredible. It's amazing. And how did I get into this? Usually I start my speech with this, and here I am going to end it. I have a daughter. I have 3 daughters, actually. My youngest daughter at age 6 was diagnosed with anxiety. I did what all moms did. I went and got her on some medication, thought, yay, it's just a chemical imbalance. It's going to be all better. Everything's going to be great. It helped. But at age 15, she came to me and said, Mom, I'm tired of being a Dr. Science project. I want to feel normal. And unfortunately, her normalcy came from first with alcohol, which led her to marijuana. It wasn't the world I lived in. It wasn't anything I understood. We're a family of 5. My husband and I have been married for 37 years. So all these crazy things that people think that an addict grew up with aren't there. It's not a world I understood. I thought I could ground her enough, or I could love her enough, and it would make a difference. And yet it didn't. She got out of high school and went into a rehab program, came out clean from marijuana and alcohol, but she came out addicted to sugar, caffeine, and tobacco. So she went from these to this. But I'm like, these are at least legal, right? So we'll do that. And I thought we'd be great. Well, 30 days after her rehab, she met up with a friend that she met in rehab who got her on meth. And meth is a drug of the devil. And that is what led me down such a scary path. Talk about going to the gates of hell to pull my daughter out. That's what I did, because I lived in fear. I lived in fear she was going to kill somebody, kill me, end up in jail, or kill somebody else. The first time she ended up in jail, I was actually so relieved, because I'm like, for the first time in a long time, I can breathe. I know where she's at. But I watched this cycle. She would get out of jail, white knuckle it, because just because she wasn't using didn't mean she felt good, right? So she's white knuckling it, because there's 3 things I learned about an addict is they never want to be one. They're self-medicating for maybe something mental, emotional, or past in their life, and they're just white knuckling it, meaning they're just holding on holding on. And she'd go through the cycle. So she'd go about 6 months, then she'd relapse with alcohol, marijuana, then meth. And we kept this cycle going. After her 4th time of going to jail, I prayed. I was like, I got to have some help here. Somebody's got to help me out. And the answer came with learning about how they're using amino acids in the rehab centers. And they use them in rehab centers through an IV. And I know Tammy talked about doing some IV therapy. It's amazing. At the time, it was really expensive. After 3 days, the cravings started going. After 10 days, they're almost completely gone. There's an 85% rate of recovery. And I knew this was my answer, but it was $1,000 a day. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot. How do I tell my clients that I have something I think will help them? And how do I help my daughter, right? I mean, $1,000 a day, that's a lot. So I Googled how to get amino acids or amino acid centers that were using amino acids in rehab. Found one in Florida, called and said, look, I'm a mother of an addict. I have all these hypnotherapy clients. How can you help me? And he's like, you know what? I can teach you everything you need to know. In 2 weeks, we're having a training in Salt Lake City, which is 30 minutes from my house. And that was a miracle. And what I learned was all these things about how by feeding the brain and the body, there's a connection between the brain and body when it comes to mental health. What you eat matters. And it's simple. The nutrition you need is very simple. Protein is non-negotiable, guys. The number one thing I tell my clients is you've got to have protein. I don't care how you get it. I don't care if you eat it. I don't care if you drink it. I don't care if you get it from a powder. But at least every 4 hours, especially if you're struggling. If you or somebody else is struggling with mental health issues, protein is super important, right? So getting that connection between the brain and the body with amino acids can make a huge difference. And I thought, okay, the population for addicts is like this, hardcore. There's a lot of them, but the population of people, children, teenagers, adults who are struggling, there's a big population, right? And that's when I started to share it. And I got my own line of amino acids. I'm going to be speaking at the conference 3 times. The 23rd at 5:30. It's tools to combat anxiety, depression, stress, cravings, and addiction. 2 years ago, when everything started to happen, people kept saying, I want to get back to normal. I want to get back to normal, right? Well, here we are 2 years later. And the only thing we know about normal is there is no normal, right? And our brain likes patterns. And so it doesn't like all this change. And so by taking some amino acids, first like 5-HTP, I said, when all this happened, 5-HTP feeds serotonin. And serotonin is your positive mind. It's your flexibility, your humor. And when that goes down, that's the anxiety, depression, worry. And if I could give everybody 5-HTP in the world, it may not have stopped everything from going on, but it may have stopped people from stealing or not stealing, buying all of the toilet paper, right? Because what 5-HTP does is it helps you to think a little bit clearer to be able to weather the storm. Okay. There are 6 amino acids. There's GABA chill, which is take a chill pill. There's L-tryptophan, which helps with sleep. There is L-tyrosine, which feeds the dopamine, which raises your energy. It's a sustained energy. There is L-glutamine, which helps keep your brain, your blood sugar level. If you're somebody who works on the computer a lot and you're doing something and you skip meals, then yes, thanks, Bill, you're right. The skip meals, your brain also goes into a hypoglycemic state. Your blood sugar drops, and it's like, I got to have what I want, and I want to have it now. And it causes you to, your brain to go, give me what I can get the fastest, right? Which would be sugar or something like that. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate your comments. I'm excited to meet you. It'll be awesome. All right, guys. So that's what happens is, those 6 neurotransmitters help to feed the 6 amino acids feed the neurotransmitters in the brain. Now, the second class I have is Friday at 5 o'clock. Discover and change your sabotaging stories through hypnosis. We're going to actually do hypnosis. Let you see how it feels. It's going to be so much fun. The last one is Saturday is at 10 o'clock a.m. It's break the code to weight loss. I've come up with some things that it's not about the food, right? It's about nutrition. It's about vitamin and minerals. It is so crazy, the things I've learned. It's going to be wild. You guys will love it. I asked if you're a practitioner or affiliate. I have a program. If you're want to add amino acid nutrition to your program, you can take my class and become a wholesaler where you can get them for a lot cheaper, which is awesome. I know that Joy talked about it earlier. Tam knows about them. They're incredible. And it's a great program. Or you can become affiliate. If you're like, I don't know that I want to learn about them, but I want to send people your way. I have an affiliate program that I'm putting together. So reach out to me. First step would be figure out how these can help you is go to my website, hypnoaminos.com. Click on the quiz. Could amino acids be your missing link? That'll be your first step. Second step, guys, get your tickets to the conference. And then the third step would be to come see me. Come see me as a vendor. I'll be there all weekend. It'll be super fun. Yes, I am color. You can see the bright colors in my office. I love color. So yes, I will be the color, bright color, probably yellow and probably pink, which are the colors I like to wear most of the time. And they can listen to me speak 3 times. Like I said, feed your brain, change your life. It'll be woven into each of the classes, but they're going to be more specific. So I can go and dive deeper into how to get rid of the anxiety, the depression, the cravings, the addiction, how to use hypnosis and how to feel what it feels like, how to stop those limiting beliefs and that negative self-talk. And then if weight is a deal with you and you're like, I'm sick of this, I get it. I've been on a roller coaster since I was 17. I understand that. Then come to that class. It's going to be so much fun. Yay!
I'm so excited for you to be able to come and to teach people, and especially practitioners who want to offer this as part of their practice to be able to help people. I think sometimes people think, they kind of like compartmentalize us as a human being, and we're not just physical and we're not just energetic, like we're all the things, right? So I really love how you take this approach and you look at it from this, as you've called it before, a 3-legged stool. I love that. So thank you so much for being there and helping so many people. people. I appreciate you so much.
I love you, Tam. You know, I'm so excited. It's gonna be so fun.
You're awesome. Okay, take care so much, my
Okay,
friend.
bye-bye.
All right, you guys, she's going to be there in 2 weeks at the upcoming Energy Healing Conference. And I just want to like totally offer some words of encouragement. If you have been experiencing some imbalances with those kind of things, I know people literally who have been able to get stabilized after they've been on that roller coaster just by using that 5-HTP and some of the other things that she's talked about. I also want to just kind of share my own personal experience with Shelly Joe. She's not somebody that's going to be like, I know everything. She's going to be like, let's try this and see how it works. And because there's not like all these crazy side effects and stuff, it's safe to be able to do that. I know I've used it for my own teenagers before as they've gone through their own, teenage stuff. I don't know how else to say that. And it's been really remarkable to know that you can do it, try it, see if it works, and you'll know within 20 minutes if it is. So definitely recommend you guys going to her website, which is hypnoaminos.com, and checking that out. Even if you can't go to the conference, it'd be a great way to connect with her there. All right, our next guest speaker is the amazing Benjamin King. And Benjamin King, like I told you guys earlier, if you were on our broadcast earlier, he taught my kids how to put that flame out just by using energy. He is a very, very gifted teacher and instructor, but he's going to really be able to show you how to do it at the conference as part of his interactive experience. I can't wait for you guys to be able to try that out and learn about that. Let's go ahead and bring on Benjamin King from Blue Petal Foundation. How are you, my friend?
Hi, Tammy. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Congratulations on your newest addition to your family as well. That's number 9, right?
Yeah, number 9. It seems like every time I talk to you just before a conference, we've had another.
Literally, I'm like, dude just had another baby. I don't have any room to talk since I have 8, so I totally am right there with you. But I'm excited to hear about what you're doing. If you don't mind, I'd love to also hear a little bit about what's really attracted you to Qigong. If people don't really know what it is, maybe a little bit of background as well. I'd love that.
Yeah, and first of all, I'm not sure. I got my AirPods in. I don't know if they're picking up or not. So if
your sound is fantastic, by the way.
Okay, good. Thanks for letting me know. To answer your question, what attracted me into Qigong? It wasn't the healing aspect. I'll just admit that. It was the philosophy of it. So I was already doing work in a nonprofit organization. So the focus of my career has always been, since I graduated from the acting program in college, and I decided I didn't want to be an actor, I went into education and training and development. So I've been very interested in helping people to experience breakthrough and success and growth with connecting inwardly, inner connection, developing intrinsic motivation, self-determination, because I think this is really what's at the heart of living a full life, living a satisfied life. And as one of my friends, Dan Clark, put it, we don't really want a successful life, we want a significant life. So that's why I entered into Qigong and became a certified practitioner, and I've been teaching it for the past 4 years and set up Blue Petal Foundation. Recently, I've expanded what the focus of my work is, and that ties into the topic of what I'm going to talk about today and at the conference. And that is to incorporate more of the philosophy, more of the ideas, because I think ideas are just as important to our healing as anything that we can put into our body. And here's why. First of all, let me just say that everybody who's watching this live stream or recording right now, you're looking forward to the conference, and that's because there's something there that you're looking for. And if you don't mind just taking a second right now, I'd love if you would comment, if you'd be willing to be bold, courageous, even vulnerable, and sharing what is it that you're looking for. What you're looking for is going to determine what your takeaways are just in this 20-minute segment that we have to share together, or at the 3-day conference that you're going to come and spend time there. And so I'm just inviting you right now to comment. What is it that you are looking for? If you're going to say healing, I would like you maybe to think about going deeper. What is in the healing? What is waiting for you through the healing? So this is the kind of depth that I like to go at with my clients and with my students. I had a major aha a couple of months ago, maybe actually a year and a half ago, that because I've been practicing in this field of energy medicine, Chinese energy medicine specifically, I realized that healing doesn't start at the energetic level. It doesn't start at the emotional level. And I know that a lot of practitioners in this field focus on emotional healing, emotional release. But what I've come to recognize is that it goes deeper than that. It begins at the level of consciousness. And that's the level of our thoughts, our beliefs, where we hold our most precious truisms, our ideas. And these are beliefs that reflect about us. These are beliefs that reflect about the world. These are ideas that reflect about everything. And with that realization, I discovered our ideas play a major role in how we heal, how we go through transformation. And so this is the first time at an energy healing conference that I will be solely discussing a theme, an idea, a concept, a philosophy. Those of you who are, frequent visitors to the conference, I've been a part of it and presenting at it for the last 4 years. I've always presented myself as the Qigong guy. Well, again, tying back to your question, Tammy, my Qigong for me has always been a means. It's always been a way of exploring deeper truths that I want to embody. I want to embody harmony. I want to embody wholeness and fullness and balance. And so I already had an understanding of how important that was, not only in life and in families, but in society, so that we can enjoy sustainable peace and harmony and prosperity and liberty and freedom. But it has to begin here at this level. And Qigong was the perfect tool that helped me to experience the embodied cognition of this through the gentle movement and the breathing and training consciousness. So when somebody comes to my Center for Deep Healing here and they share what their symptoms are, these are the areas of pain, of discomfort, of suffering. We're used to, in the holistic health realm, we're used to looking at that and saying, okay, there's an underlying energy in this. There's an underlying emotion. If we will go further and say there's an underlying thought pattern, there's an underlying belief in this. Let's start there. And in Chinese energetic medicine, this is referred to as the Shen, or the heart mind, or spirit. That's why, again, just to emphasize again, healing must begin at the level of spirit. If we can heal in our thoughts, heal in our beliefs, then we can experience healing in our energy and our emotions, and then the physical body responds. When I begin challenging certain beliefs that I see corresponding to the symptoms, it demands something of the patient, of the client. And what it demands is courage. Because I realize that not everybody is prepared to confront their beliefs. Not everybody is ready for deeper truths. And so that's what the focus of my message is, that there is a certain belief that we have that prevents us from experiencing what we actually really do want. What we want is relief. What we want is healing. However, that healing is through the things that cause us discomfort, Now we're just hardwired to avoid pain and seek pleasure. And in one way, it doesn't make sense to us that if I'm going to get relief from the pain, I should go into it. That doesn't make sense. I want relief from it. You know, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm seeking your help. So I compare the scenario to being stuck in the thick of a forest. And that's where we're at when we are dealing with a difficulty, a struggle. And as Shelley, you know, I caught on to the last part of what she was talking about with addictions. I can talk about somebody who's stuck in the thick of a forest, and they have a sense that they don't want to be there. They want their way out. But the reason why they're going to go and talk to a doctor or talk to a therapist or talk to a practitioner is because they can't see the way out. They need help getting out of the stuckness of this. And so when you are privileged as a healer, as a practitioner, to enter into that scenario with the patient, with the client, and help them navigate their way out of it. Sometimes what I've found is that they want to get rid of it. That's their attitude. That's how I felt with my pain, with my struggles, and I think it's very natural. We just want to get rid of it. And so we want to cut down all the trees so we can clear the way and see how to get out of it. But I realized, again, just as a practitioner, one of the best things I can do to help somebody who's stuck in the thickness and the darkness of their own forest is to help them appreciate the trees for what they are. And instead of wanting to cut them down and remove the darkness that they create that blocks them from the light of understanding, is to use the trees and to climb up. And I can act as a guide. I can be a facilitator to help them come above the tree line. And then they can have a change of perspective, a new thought, a new paradigm, and understanding their terrain. And then they're empowered to navigate their own way through it and out of it. And I'm better empowered to be that guide with them. So here's the conundrum, and I have it in the message there. This quote from Joseph Campbell: "The cave that you fear to enter contains the treasure you seek." This leads us into this idea about the breaking point of pain and rebirth, what the rebirth process is. And again, I'm just going to emphasize that this is what is waiting for us. This is the experience that's waiting for us on the healing journey. We initially reach out for help because we don't want to feel bad anymore. We don't want the symptoms. We want to get rid of it. But along the healing journey, we do become enlightened. We do start understanding that the reason why we have this pain, the likelihood that this symptom showed up was because of something that we were avoiding that creates us discomfort. And by working through that, by intentionally going into the darkness, into the scariness, into the fear of the unknown, the shadow, you're going to discover what you've wanted all along. So whatever it is that you see as the source of the pain actually contains a key for your growth, for your breakthrough, for your learning. And when I share that with people, I just want to say that some people are turned off by that, but others are, that comes as a relief to them. And I think the reason why is because we all want to find meaning in our pain. We want to find meaning in our suffering. So this is all I'm going to offer, by the way. But when you come to the class, when you come to the presentation, and I believe I'm presenting at 1 o'clock on Friday, I'm going to give some insights to help people in navigating through this, because naturally, you know, you have a question is, what do I do? How do I find my way through this? So here's the question that I'm going to suggest to you. And before I give that, let me just say that this I recognize has been core in the training that I've gone through. Okay, I guess I should have explained that a little bit more up front. Through the training that I've received in medical Qigong and Chinese energetic medicine, as a practitioner, you have to do your work on yourself. You have to do your own work of stop running and face the paper tiger, you know, is the expression. And so a lot of the exercises, a lot of the meditations that we do and that I've done is what is called entering into the inner sanctuary. And when you can process through the things that are dark and that are scary, you're going to experience that rebirth. Now, I don't have the time to talk about it here, but it's going to be one of the most important things that I do share in the presentation. And that is, why is it so scary? Why is it so painful? Why do we wrestle with that tendency of running from it rather than going into it? Let me just share that one of the reasons is because of the way that we had to adopt a mask, a persona, in order to survive. And if we're going to go inward and reconnect with the true self, that requires the death of that mask. It requires the death of that ego that we've built an identity to. And so that's why it feels so frightening. That's why we feel so vulnerable in that process. And we may not be prepared to fully take that journey, but it's the most courageous thing that you can do. Here's the question that if you'll sit with this, we'll do some wonderful work for yourself. What is the most important thing I'm avoiding? What is the most important thing that I'm avoiding? I'm laughing because I just saw your comment, Tammy.
Yeah, well, I just have to say, like, you got me all emotional and everything over here, you know, as you're talking about your class. I'm like, dang, this is like exactly what so many people need right now, myself included. This is so powerful. And you think that you know what Qigong is, and then you realize you had no clue what, you know what I mean? And so that was going to be awesome. What's it going to be like when people go to your interactive experience? Can you maybe just touch on that a little bit? So if somebody's like maybe thinking about it, but maybe they're intimidated, they don't know what it's going to be like. If you give them a little bit of a taste or just a little bit of insight into what that will be like, maybe that'll give them a little bit of courage.
Yeah. So for somebody who maybe has experienced a little Qigong or has never experienced Qigong before, but is curious about it, let me just share this. Now, again, my background comes from high performance, and I've worked with very high performance individuals, people whose success and breakthrough and motivation is everything to them. Accomplishment is huge for them in their life. And they will pay big bucks to experience anything that will give them the edge or give them the insight that they need in order to go up to the next level. And here's the quote that I'm going to share with you, and I'm trying to remember who said it originally. But success is found in doing the ordinary common things in an extraordinary uncommon way. And what Qigong has done for me is that it takes the most common and ordinary things that we do, such as moving the body, breathing, and thinking. There's nothing any more simple than that of what it means to be alive, to be a human, is to move in your physical body. It's to breathe the breath of life and to train the imagination and concentration. There is nothing more powerful and profound than the practice of Qigong for training these common, ordinary things in uncommon, extraordinary ways that lead to breakthrough, growth, and success. And only those who do it experience it and understand what I'm talking about. One of the reasons why I did, again, to go back to your original question, one of the reasons why I did start diving into Qigong and invested myself so much was because I recognized the power that's in it, the potential of this. It's not just learning a lot of concepts, a lot of truths, a lot of principles that are timeless and universal, but it's integrating it into my tissues and changing my soul in this. And that is how I experience my life now. The words wholeness and fullness have a whole different meaning to me. And why I've shifted the focus of what I'm doing with Blue Petal Foundation. It's about cultivating the way of all life. And when I cultivate the way of all life inside of me, I am far more able and empowered to do this in my family, in my relationships, in my business, in my practice, in my community, and in society and in the world. And that's what my mission is.
Well, that's amazing and really inspiring too. And I also wanted to let you know that I recently spent a little bit of time on your website, and we didn't talk about it here, but for anybody who's living in Utah County, definitely get to his studio, because I forgot, you have your salt room and you have classes and you have a lot of different things. Like you'll do even stuff for groups as well. So I just think that there's so much to learn. And we put your website up here. It's bluepetalfoundation.org. As a nonprofit organization, you do a lot for the community. And I just want to say thank you for being at our conference, not just to teach a class there, but how you serve people in such big ways. And then also doing the interactive. That's going to be such a huge bonus for people who are able to go.
Yeah. Thank you, Tammy.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the opportunity of being on here, and thank you for everybody who's watching, who's going to be at the conference. And I look forward to it and look forward to being there with you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. We'll see you there. All right. Well, this conference is happening in just a couple of weeks, you guys, and I am so excited. I also am super thrilled to introduce you to Bill McKenna, who people know. I haven't traveled since spring of 2020. You know, I went to Hawaii. We did a retreat there, and then crap hit the fan, right? I haven't really traveled on an airplane since. And I recently jumped on a plane with a few members of my family and went to San Diego, where I met with Bill McKenna every day for several days in a row. While my family went off and did other stuff, I did sessions with him and was able to actually start driving again. Even though I did have recently another, I don't know what you'd call it, a freak out after having some PTSD type symptoms and brain issues from a recent re-injury to the left part of my brain. Bill McKenna was able to help me so much. Now, his company is called Cogno Movement. He was a vendor at the St. George conference that we did in April, and that's how I was actually introduced to him. So grateful for his practitioner, who basically had to drag him away from his beautiful little beachside home. So beautiful, by the way. And I am so grateful for the practices that he has introduced me to, for the help that he's been able to give me. I just cannot thank him enough. You know, if you've ever had your life basically ripped away from you and you can't do basic things like even breathing, you know how much of a difference one person can really make. And I'm going to totally just turn the time over to him and his business partner, because I don't want to just start bawling and losing my crap here, but I'm going to go ahead and bring him on and her on and just turn the time over to you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Tammy, you're making me, you're bringing the tears out of me here. You know, Really feel that. It was such a joy to work with you and to see your recovery, see how well your neurology responded to everything, and that you got your so many of your abilities back. I am honored here. My business partner, Liz Larson, who is the other part of Cogno Movement, and without her, this whole thing would never seen the light of day. But I wanted to start off. Now I've been advised. I want to tell you about a couple of free offers that we have on our website. Now we have 2 free ebooks and a free hour masterclass that we're giving away, and we're going to give you the website. Liz, can you give them the website right away? Because there may be some people who need to go, and then we'll give it to you again at the end.
Yeah, if you just go to cognomovement.com, and it's COGNO, like the word cognitive, and then the word movement.com. And if you go to cognomovement.com/Gaia, GAIA, there's an hour-long training on the levels of the map of awareness levels. So what this presenter just before was talking about is that awareness and consciousness, when it changes everything. It changes how your life works. So it's an hour long that Bill teaches about those levels and how to create those changes. Then we have 2 free ebooks. One is called Suffering is Optional, which is really our motto at Cogno Movement. Now you get to choose how long you suffer, what you suffer with. And sometimes, we all have to admit we like to suffer a little, but then you can choose not to. So Suffering is Optional has all kinds of scientific-based evidence and images where you can actually see the change created by a Cogno Movement session. And then our really fun book is the Tiny Book of Big Manifesting, where we show you how to use a quantum manifesting technique. And all of those are at cognomovement.com. Just look for the ebooks and you can download those for free. And the class is free as well.
Awesome. Well, we're very excited to be at the conference, and we are teaching not 1, not 2, but 3. You get both of us at these 3 seminars, all 3 days. I think that we go off somewhere around 5 o'clock each day, right around then. It'll be well worth you spending the time. So we're gonna go through each one of the classes, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask, because you're going to be drinking through a fire hose for a couple minutes here. The first one is something that is a new discovery, and it is mind-blowing, and that is that your body is expressing your subconscious. So people wonder, how is it that the subconscious controls my life? How does that happen? Well, guess what? It has a dirty little secret, and that is it utilizes the physical body. You have a feeling in your body, and then you think a thought equal to this. This secret will change your life once you understand it, that how it works, and how, even though you're trying to be mentally strong about whatever, I can't help it. I have the craving for the ice cream. You're like, yeah, I know I shouldn't eat that ice cream, or take this or drink that or whatever. Well, there's a feeling there. And this goes with every aspect of your life, whether it's shame, guilt, grief, humiliation, embarrassment, fear, anxiety, you name it. So we go over this, and Liz Larson is going to tell about one of her massive discoveries related to this, which is what we call a core limiting sensation. Liz?
Yeah, this really was one of those things that's like a download combined with some big tragedies, combined with illness. Like, it's one of those stories that needs to be on, a soap opera to start with. But really what it comes down to is this discovery, and I discovered it in my own body first, this really terribly familiar feeling that we have every time we have something that holds us back in our life. We've all experienced this where you have something you want to do, but it's like walking through quicksand. You just cannot get there. And it's like an invisible rope holding you back somehow. And when I went back in my own life, I found that only every time that I felt limited, I had the same physical sensation. For me, it was like being clotheslined at the throat and at the top of the stomach. Well, for those of you who don't know, this is what Bill and I do. We find the place in your body, not in your logical mind. I rub a hole in my forehead saying it's not here. It's here that is expressing for you the limitation really that's created in your neurological system. That's right, the power lines that run between your body and your brain. So we locate it there and we can change it, but this time was different. I noticed that it was literally the same place every time. When I wanted to create and I couldn't, when I tried to do something, but it didn't work out well. But this discovery allowed us to collapse them all at once, literally extract that core limiting sensation from the body. Well, as we do, I shared it with Bill immediately. He said it was terrible and painful. I remember that day. He's like, oh my God, this is horrible. But it isn't now. Once we started doing it and doing it more, we found that it's actually fun. It's actually so entertaining to see people recognize, oh my God, it's a feeling. Nothing more than a physical sensation in my body. And once the sensation is gone, this is the best news. Your mind just doesn't give a crap about it anymore. There isn't a limitation. You start moving freely. I used it because I was recovering from illness and deaths in my family, which I will share this story with you at the event because it's very dramatic. It has to do with being taught while being sick, huge downloads of information. But I needed to get back to work and I couldn't. I just couldn't get back to work and I had to. We had a deadline. And once I removed this feeling from my body, I was able to go back to work. I had all the ideas. We created a huge course. I mean, the creations that happened after that were transformative for all of us, even our practitioners, even our students. So I'm just so excited and honored to be able to share this with you. And I also want to say to Tammy, thank you for having the courage to share what you worked on with Bill. People need to know that it's possible to get past these things, move on in your life and thrive, that you do not have to drag your trauma or drama or injury around like a ball and chain. You don't have to worship the trauma god anymore. You can literally start to thrive. So that's really, I think, our hope, Bill, right? That people will begin immediately to start thriving after this seminar. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they've got 3 chances here to thrive, and one of these builds on the next. So hopefully everybody can make it to all 3. The second day, all right, first day is we're going to have this epiphany that you're going to have about what's been controlling your life, and it's not what you thought it was. And the second day is how to clear it. Now, what we do with Cogno Movement is we use your natural neurological response. There's certain movements and certain places on your body that will cause a release or a rewiring of what you've been feeling all your life. Or maybe it's just this one particular situation. As I always say, bring the worst problem in your life and we'll make it go away. So I know that is a awful tall order, but we'll be doing this all week long, 3 days at the booth. You can come by, you get a free sample session, and we'll work your issue. And we'll do it also at all 3 of these seminars. Now, so day 1, you're going to find it. Day 2, we're going to clear it. And then day 3, tell them about day 3, because you are going to want to stay to the end of the show for this, because it is about moving your life to the next level. You know, if you're going to this show, you're about doing things better, getting better, doing better, having a good life, having good relationships, good finances, all of those things, harmony. Liz, tell them about the seminar on the last day.
Well, the last day, we're going to do everybody's favorite, which is quantum manifesting. Now, what Bill and I do is quite different, because the basis is that your body, the neurological system, is emitting a signal, electromagnetic, hormonal, and chemical, filling up your field and matching the greater morphic field. So we discovered the most amazing way to not only clear and straighten up that original signal, so it's exactly what you want, but then how to actually work in the field of potential around you. The space around you actually holds everything you want and don't want, good, bad, or ugly. It's in there. And we're going to teach you how to actually move it out of the field, bring it back in, make it bigger, collapse things that you don't want. So quantum manifesting is so much fun because it feels incredible. It's very, very physical as well. And here's the thing I think maybe Bill and I want you to know the most. You know how when you go to an event and you're just amped because everybody around you is so like-minded and they're incredible and you learn incredible things, and you just know when you leave that you're going to be changed forever. But 3 days after you get home, you kind of slump back down. The work we do changes you at a physiological level. You leave different. So if you come to these events, they're at the end of the day, everything that you learn during that day is going to get sealed in from us and from all of the other presenters. We're going to map it into your body so that you get to take it home and keep those changes, because when you leave, you are physically different. Not just a mental change. We're not trying to change your mind. We're changing you at the level of who you really are. And that changes your consciousness. It changes your awareness. So I know it sounds like a lot and like a big promise, but we see it happen all the time. Tammy's saying she's had the experience personally. It's amazing, and it's so physical. That's the part I love. Bill, what do you love best?
Well, you know, I love results, right? I'm a results-oriented person, so I like hearing about people getting the house of their dreams, getting their new Tesla, getting that ring put on their finger, getting all the moving up in life, and if we're, everybody on this already is familiar with the law of attraction, and they're familiar with the, you've got to feel it. You've got to feel how it is to have it, and that sort of thing. The problem is that the person doesn't have it, right? And they're trying to manufacture the feeling of this is what it would be like to have it. But they find themselves in the state of want. This discovery on the last day of the show, the seminar we're doing, the secret is that you in your body have an ability, that secret that is in this energy system that you have, that will change all of that. Your energy system is a transformer. When you think, I want the new Tesla, or I want that cowboy, the Marlboro Man, whatever it is, it goes through a process in your body, a very natural process, whether you believe it or not. And when this thing goes through your body all the way down to what they call your first energy center, it goes from I want it to this is going down. This is about to happen. This is me. This is who I am. And it is as natural as breathing. There's so much more to it, though, that is like mind blowing. But it's so great that me and Liz are, I'm so happy. A lot of times Liz is on the stage, or just me, or, but you having both of us on stage together, it's going to be a blast.
Well, I would love for everybody to hear a story. I'm not sure where we are in time. I've lost track a little bit, but if it's okay, I'll share one from a recent event that I had, a recent session. I had a woman come in, and she said to me that her life was, screwed, but it was a much harsher word, that all she'd ever had was trauma. In her whole life, it was just trauma. And she said that, that was the theme of her life. We worked through this physical feeling in her body, the sensation she had, the core sensation that was there in every one of her traumas. And we simply found it and deleted it, one at a time, about 10 seconds each, you guys, for each trauma. Shocking, right? But we know that trauma is just a feeling. It's just a feeling of a memory in the body. So we went through, and at the end, I said, okay, when you came, you had this trauma of your whole life. And she looked at me like, what? I said, you don't remember, do you? She said, no. I said that. I said, yeah. Wrote it down. She said, you know what? That's not true. She said, I have been a superhero throughout my life. I've saved people's lives. I've fought for people. I've gone to bat for people. I went to court for people. She said, I am a badass. I'm a superhero. And that changed in 90 minutes. So that is what's possible. And it's really what we want for everyone. We want you to take off that coat of trauma and drama and put on the one of success. Just thrive. That's the moral of the story. I think we're at the end, Bill. But I thank you, everybody, and thanks, Tammy, for allowing us to be on with you.
Oh, we just love Tammy.
All right, we'll see everybody at the conference.
Yes, come by the booth and get a free mini session. Come by all 3 of those seminars, because they'll build one upon the other. And if you can't come at all or whatever, go to the site, get the free ebooks. You can start today and watch that hour-long class as well.
That's awesome.
The ebooks, cognomovement.com, and the seminar for free. Okay.
That's awesome. Well, I just want to say how much I really do appreciate you guys. I didn't realize that I was in one of the biggest fights for my life, and it's been met with compassion and understanding, and actually effective protocol that you guys really do teach. And I'm just kind of throwing this out there. If there's any practitioners that are watching right now that are looking for something that will get results further than what you've done before, I would definitely recommend looking into this. Just sharing that from my own personal experience, what I experienced, because I had been throwing everything that I could at this. I was very aggressive in my treatments because I'd had an injury previously. And I know that you guys don't focus on just the type of stuff I was dealing with, but because I experienced such a progression in just the short amount of time that I worked with Bill at the St. George conference, I had to keep looking into it. So I've sent several people to you. And I'm really looking forward to your guys' experiences at the conference. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh, we're so happy to be a part of it.
It really has been an honor working with you.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. All right. Well, thank you again for being here, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. I just want to close out by a couple of quick little bits of information. Number one is I've had some questions, people saying, do you have to attend all 3 days? Oh, goodness, no. If you have to work maybe one of the days, or you have a family event, this is a 3-day event. Of course, you're going to want to look over the schedule, and I included the schedule here for you. You can also go ahead and you can download the schedule as well, so that you can take a look at it. We also have some Yeah, here we go. Here's where you go ahead and download the schedule. You can also find that directly on our website for the event. But go to what you are most interested in. There's a lot of different attractions. There's a lot of different classes. We get that not every single thing that we have is meant for every single person. Pick and choose and be selective and go to the ones that really feel aligned to you. We also want to encourage you, if you have kids that you think would really benefit from some of the things that we have, don't hesitate to bring them. In our past venues, we've not been able to allow that because of insurance reasons and logistics. This one, we have a lot of actual activities for the whole family. One of them is Thursday night. We actually have a band that will be coming and playing some of my favorite music, which is oldies rock and roll. It's just a fun, feel-good time. There's also going to be a lot of vendors that will have things fun for the whole family as well. I've had people say, now is this like an educational event? Absolutely. And as a homeschooling mom for 15 years, if you would have told me I couldn't bring my kids to an event, it would have been really hard for me to go. So I know I had several kids that were interested in several different things. Depending on their age level, it didn't really matter. You know what I mean? I have a daughter who's 23 now, who's a professional photographer, but she was very much so interested in all of these different topics. Starting at about age 12, 13 years old, she was reading Napoleon Hill and about the power of your thoughts and what can we do to help us to be able to manifest and create vision boards. And I mean, her and I went to Iceland in 2018, but she started that dream back when she was 14 years old, 4 years prior to that. I don't want to hold a kid back who's really fascinated and intrigued and interested in these topics. So please feel free to bring them. If you need any tickets for your kids, please just let me know ahead of time. And I really appreciate you guys. Oh, hey, Mom. I also want to share with you, the venue does have some strict rules about bringing in outside food and drink. So if you have a tumbler that you can bring with your own water, you can do that. I recommend even, if you have a cooler in the car and you need to go outside to go eat, that's fine. I have food allergies, and so I can't always eat exactly what other people are offering. We will have concessions on site though. I've told them, please make sure you have vegan and gluten-friendly options, all of those kind of things as well. Just kind of going over some of the logistical information that people have been asking me. So no, you don't have to attend every single minute of the event. You can come to whatever you can, right? And pick and choose. And it's like I guess you could call it an open house style. We do also have the schedule available for you, but you can find out all of the details about the speakers, their bios, class titles, descriptions, all of that. In addition, right on the website. So here's the actual website for the event. I'm going to go ahead and just put that up on the screen for you as well. If you have any questions at all, my personal email, I'm also going to go ahead and put right up on the screen for you. And I will be checking this. I'm very responsive to my email. So go ahead and send me a quick email and I'd be happy to message you back for that. Now, if you are a practitioner that you are interested in coming as a vendor, we do still have some space that is left. We have about 6 spots only indoors, and then we have some outdoor options. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link for the vendor spaces up one more time. And then if you do not yet have a ticket and you would like to come, will you please comment below here in the comments and let me know? And also share this video, and then I'd be happy to go ahead and hook you up with a pair of tickets as my guest. We have people that will find out about this event in other states and literally drive all through the night to be able to attend this event. I don't want you to have to wait till the very last minute to know if you have tickets. As this sometimes becomes a sold out event, we would really like to encourage you to get your tickets ahead of time. And we can totally hook you up and get you all set up for this event. Like I said, we have something for everyone. We have stuff on our schedule and in our vendor hall as well. Things like complimentary light therapy sessions. Some of our practitioners will also be doing services right there in their booth. So you can come and try out a foot zone. Come and do a session with Bill and Liz. Come and plan on actually taking advantage of getting a massage. My sister actually will be there. You'll see her. She has long dreadlocks and her name is Angie, so you'll have to say hi. Carol Tuttle will be there Thursday night speaking about how to make healing an easy part of your everyday life. There'll be things like body and skin and wellness products. If you yourself are looking for ways to, kind of filter out the toxins and choose healthier options for you, you'll be able to come and have some fun with that. Now, this event is for men and women. And as I said before, even kids. There's also some topics like how to get your water to be even healthier. We have a couple of people who will be talking about messages from the other side. There's also things like how to help your whole family with mental health. We also have a whole panel of birth professionals. We have an instructor who will be teaching about belly dance basics to strengthen your core. There's somebody there that will be doing wire wrapping. So if gemstones is totally your jam and you want to learn how to get into that, and please feel free to come and bring some of your own wire or gemstones so that you can get in on some of those. We also have Consuelo Nicolaza, who's from Chile. She will be doing amazing henna instruction. There's also a self-guided labyrinth that you can take advantage of and participate in. In addition to this, we also have cooking demonstrations and so much more. This is an amazing event. We're really looking forward to this year's the world's largest energy healing conference. One last thing is, you guys have probably heard me talk about the board that I'm on for the NCCOEP. Many of the board members for the NCCOEP will be joining us at this year's conference. They will actually be bringing in the biofield viewer. There'll be other instruments where they can actually measure the voltage coming off of your hands. You can actually be a certified national practitioner right on the spot with them. We also have the Psych Labs that is traveling all the way from California. If you've not heard of them, they're based out of the Ensenada area. And I'm just really looking forward to introducing you to a lot of the researchers and scientists and other people who have been doing this for, decades and decades. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you guys there. And Mom, I will send you a link so you can get your free tickets as well. People have been asking me, why did you choose Ogden? I'm like, there's a few reasons. So my mama is based out of Ogden. But also I'm really, really big on making this affordable and accessible to anyone who wants to come. And to be honest with you, if I would have done it in Salt Lake this year, I would have had to charge 5 times the amount to anyone that was participating. And I just couldn't bring myself to do that. And especially with everything else kind of going up a little bit, I actually brought my prices way down to be able to hold true to my mission of making healing an affordable and accessible part of anyone's life, no matter their social and economic, wherever they fall in. If you yourself cannot attend because of financial reasons, please feel free to email me. This is my private email once again. We also have volunteer options so that you can also have access to the recordings and listen in again and again. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, everyone.